It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I'm super excited to bring you a bottle of tribute. It's an Austell tribute, but not just any old tribute. This is their extra special 7.4% ABV version of the beer. Now, I've just noticed on the back of the bottle here, you've got Georgina Young, head brewer. I met Georgina a few years ago at the Great British Beer Festival. We shared a beer together. It's in a 500 milliliter bottle. But interestingly, and it's the reason why this beer is here on display, is that normally when I go down to Waitrose this time of year, sort of end of October, early November, I'm looking to pick up Fuller's Vintage Ale. And alongside that, there's always been a beer from Camden Town, which has been their sort of a bottle of premium prize lager for £5 or £6 a bottle. But I haven't seen that this year from Camden Town. I've seen this instead from St Austell and the extra special tribute. But I always review this at Christmas time, always review a bottle of this. This is the 2025 version of Fuller's Vintage Ale. And they both cost around £5.50 a bottle in Waitrose. This was £5.50 a bottle. But I think, and I only brought this bottle out to show you the Fuller's Vintage Ale. But I've just made a connection on the spin. When I met Georgina, we had a chat, and she actually left Fuller's, or got a new job at St Austell, but to become their head brewer after leaving Fuller's Brewery. I believe she was Fuller's head brewer for a good amount of time after John Keeling had left as head brewer. So I think that experience working for Fuller's has said she's managed to convince the big bods at St Austell Brewery to say, hey, why don't we brew an extra special beer for Waitrose this Christmas? And this is it. This is it. So that was a bit of a long-winded trying to connect my dots together story, wasn't it? But I got there in the end. So opening the box, there's the bottle cap on the beer. It's all the way around. The cardboard goes all the way around like a nice packaged bottle of wine. It really is. So you have to get rid of that first, and then pull the bottle out. I don't know if it's named. I don't know if it. Oh yes, it is. Look, it even has the same bottle number. Now Fuller's Brewery, they won't show you it on the actual cardboard box, but they've actually followed the Fuller's line of actually bottling, giving you a bottle number here. So the whole batch was 14,300. This is bottle 8,117. So it's about halfway through the batch that this has come from. About halfway through the batch. I have no idea in the past whether St Austell had an extra special beer or a tribute or a barley wine, as these beers can kind of sometimes be called. But I imagine this is something going forward. This is something going forward that St Austell will probably want to move towards. I've always liked the tribute. I found it to be a good malty bitter with some good American hops. So without further ado, let's get this beer out. Good amount of smoke on the bottle opening. Into a glass and see what we get. Now always use some good glassware for something like this. You've paid £5.50 for the bottle. Don't just chuck it in a regular pint glass and hope for the best. If you haven't got a nice beer glass, I'd even say put it in a wine glass. Put it in a nice red wine glass if you don't have a good beer glass. So beer in the glass, we got a 1 finger, slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation. It's definitely bottle conditioned. Look at the sediment. Look at the sediment floating around in that glass. It's a golden red hue to the beer. It's a very clear looking beer, even though it's bottle conditioned. Dying to get the aroma straight away on this beer then. And it's big and malty, and it's got my palate salivating for this. Toffee malt. With some citrusy notes from the hops in the beer. The aroma is fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's very nice. Oh, that's very nice. It's big and toffee. Lots of kind of sticky toffee, but from the malt. Not from any of that glucose syrup rubbish. This is an all malt beer. Some sticky toffee, some licorice, some spices, a good bitterness on the back end. This is my type of beer, really is. This sort of year, you can probably hear the rain on the conservatory roof. I'm just about hanging on to wearing a pair of shorts. I'm about to pull all of my winter clothes out the cupboard and dig into a big long winter here in the UK. And there's nothing I like more than digging into a big long winter than to digging into some big strong beers like this. I'm really pleased Georgina, who is now the head brewer of St Austell, who has left Fuller's with their wonderful vintage ale. I'm really pleased that she's managed to convince, because I know it takes some convincing, it does. I've brought out my own beer before now with a big brewery, and it does take some convincing. It's a step change for a brewery of St Austell to make that sort of decision. They have to think about it. They have to kind of like, do we do it? Do we not do it? And I think it's a great decision. It's a great decision from St Austell to make a beer like this and put it in somewhere like Waitrose, because it offers up a certain amount of authority, I think. It's authoritative when you're able to say, hey, let's bring out something bold and strong at autumn time. And let's show the world of beer what we can do as a brewery. It's nutty, it's biscuity, it's toffee-like, there's some licorice, it's spicy and nutty, and then spicy again, and then nutty again, and then bitter on the back end. It's got some orange peel flavours coming through, and a touch of grapefruit. They've used some American hops in this beer, no doubt. Let's see if it's... Let's see if it's... Well, it is bottle conditioned. Let's see how much sediment then is in this glass of beer, in this bottle of beer. Look at that. I do love the start of autumn and winter. I really do. There's moments in my day when it fills me with dread. there's moments in my day where I go, oh, it's going to be dark soon already. And then there's moments in my day where I go, actually, it's time for the strong beers. It's time for the sort of winter vintage ales next to the fireplace. It's the reason why these beers exist. It really is. That's an incredible beer from St. Austell, and probably one of my new favourites. It's something that I urge the brewery, if anybody at the brewery is watching, I urge them to carry on with this. I urge them to do this every year. Bring out a 2026 vintage of this next year. It really is a lovely beer. It really is. If you want to pause the video and read the description on the back of the box there, you can do now. Press pause. But I'm going to rate this. I think it's fabulous. I think it really is. For a beer at £5.50, there's always, because of course you're putting 2 beers in your trolley, they're both £5.50. There's £11 worth of beer just gone into my trolley from Waitrose like that. So there is that kind of like, it's kind of expensive, but honestly, it's so worth it. It really is. They're really, really well made beer. They're beautiful beers. Look at the head retention. Look at the carbonation chasing that head of the glass. Look at the bottle condition. Look at the yeast floating around in the bottom of that glass. Look at the colour, the aroma, the taste. It's tribute on steroids. It's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.